Hi, we have been talking about consistency, and today we're going to talk about consistency in business development, keeping your pipeline full. This is a huge challenge for small business owners. It's one I see all the time, but obviously, business development is a critical part of what we need to be doing. So, let's talk about how we can get more consistent. There's two big problems, two things that usually give us trouble. And the first thing is that when business is good, when we've got a lot of work to do, our natural inclination is to skip these activities. We think, I've got all this work to do, I'm busy, I need to focus on my client work that I have now. And it doesn't feel like the pipeline is an issue. And so we just don't do that kind of stuff, those kinds of activities. The second thing that happens is that we typically don't have a clear plan for our business development. We sort of wait till the pipeline gets empty again, and then we go into panic mode and start running around, often not very strategically, just taking action. Whatever we think in the moment's going to work. So we want to be a little more strategic and get more consistent around this activity. And I've got three tips for you on how to do this. So, number one is to establish your vision around what this looks like in your business. How do you bring leads into your business? I work with a lot of solopreneurs, so coaches, consultants, other service providers. And for most of them, networking is the number one way that they bring leads into their business, either their direct networking or referrals. So maybe that feels like a way for you to bring business into or bring leads into your business. And you've got to think about what that means to show up on a regular basis, week in and week out. How do I show up? Where do I show up? What's that going to look like for me? And then maybe the second strategy I want to use is speaking engagements. Maybe I want to go on podcasts or speak at conferences or other meetings as a way to generate leads. So once we've got that vision established, our second thing we need to do, our second tip here, is to create an action plan, a very specific action plan with targets. So if I am going to network, now I need to decide, where am I networking, and how often, like, what's my target on a monthly basis. So maybe I decide I want to have 10 one-to-one networking conversations a month. And if that's my target, like if I'm talking to 10 people a month, that's bringing me the leads that I want. Then you kind of have to back into that. Like, how am I going to get to 10 new people a month? Maybe I need to attend 2 or 3 networking events every month in order to get 10 one-to-one conversations. So you kind of have to backtrack. But now I've got a target. I know that every month I'm going to attend 3 events. So now I can pick the groups I want to attend or keep an eye out for new opportunities. And from those, I want to try and line up 10 conversations. Now I've got like a plan and something to work on. And then the speaking part, maybe I decide I'm going to spend an hour every week pitching podcasts and other speaking gigs, other speaking engagements. So now we've got a plan around that. I'm gonna carve out an hour every week, and I'm gonna spend that time doing research. I'm gonna identify podcasts. I'm gonna send pitch letters. So now I've got a plan. And then the third piece of this is to actually schedule that activity. So that time, that hour a week to work on the podcasts, and maybe it is an hour every morning where I am following up with people that I've met networking and looking for other networking groups. But schedule that time. One of the things we've talked about repeatedly this month, as we've talked about consistency, is the fact that you can't get consistent when you take action when you feel like it. Like, you have to take action even if you don't feel like it. And that's what's going to get you consistent. So, scheduling that activity and working to get really disciplined around that so that you take that action no matter how you're feeling. And you know what? I know how it is. I have those days too. And sure, sometimes you can pull the I don't feel like it card, but you can't pull that card every day and still expect to have a successful business. At some point, you've got to just kind of push that aside and say, yeah, I don't feel like it, but I'm going to sit here and do what I need to do for the next hour. So you've got to schedule that activity and do it no matter how you're feeling. So those are our 3 tips. Establish your vision, create a very specific action plan with targets, and then schedule that activity. So like and subscribe if you want to make sure you don't miss any of the videos. And thank you for being here.